Welcome to Florida Mint on Florida Man with Greg, Wayne, Josh, and Cameron, the podcast where Floridians discuss the legends, lore, and crazy stories that always seem to take place in Florida. If you're here for the first time, each week Cameron covers headlines, Josh helps us get to know each other, Wayne tells us about our history and legends, and Greg looks like this week he's holding our microphones.
Wasn't it about time he does them?
It's about time he did something.
Usually he just kind of sits there and stares longingly.
He says it's praying. I don't believe it.
He doesn't. He's never prayed a day in his life.
Because he's always winking at me.
He's like, guys, bow your heads.
Right.
Cameron and I bow our heads. He looks over at Josh and goes,
Yeah, I'm like, what's that supposed to mean?
Makes you uncomfortable.
It does make me uncomfortable.
Super.
Episode 103, guys.
We're here.
Wow.
How did we do that?
Supposedly this one's is supposed to be like our best. They go, if you haven't had a best episode by 103, call it quits.
Right. Statistically, episode 103 is the best
Peak.
episode. Oh, yeah, it's the peak.
Right.
Of
I'm
every
feeling good
podcast.
about it so far.
I feel okay. I didn't get any sleep.
You know, we had a lot of people write in about Josh's pizza rolls last week.
What'd they say?
His sauce choices.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people that agreed
My
that,
man. Bang,
that
bang,
pizza rolls
bang.
need sauce, but you're choosing the wrong sauce.
Oh, they choose ranch.
Ranch. They said ranch is the way to go.
No, sir. Just like when we went to the barbecue store and they're
Right.
like, you want some of our secret ranch? And it was just barbecue and ranch.
That's
you
right.
mix A1 and ranch and
That's
you have
right.
the ultimate condiment.
I think it really says that sauces on pizza rolls are like tax brackets.
Go
right?
on.
So,
Okay, wow.
Okay.
A1 sauce, you're
Yeah.
like, man, that guy's doing well for himself.
Yes.
Right.
Ranch, you're
Seven
like,
figures.
right. Ranch dressing, you're like, they're making a living.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're getting by.
They're getting by.
Ketchup, though,
Ketchup,
Oh my gosh, that's the only thing in their fridge.
you're either under 5 years old.
or you're struggling.
Or you're struggling. Amen, baby.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's how we are.
We've all had ketchup on our pizza roll.
Okay, headline.
Headlines.
Lion's head.
All right, we have a Florida man on a spiritual journey.
Which
Come
Florida
on.
man isn't? Amen.
Amen. We're all on some kind of spiritual journey.
saying.
This 20-year-old man got out of the Gainesville Regional Airport on Thursday night, and he went outside. I guess that he was like struggling to find a ride, but he found one by stealing a cop car. On this spiritual
Wow.
journey of his.
If you could have given me 10 guesses. All
Right.
How did he find a ride? I'd guess. Well, there's ride sharing apps, right?
Sure. Exactly.
They're scooters.
They're scooters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking is an option.
Walking is always an option.
Right.
A taxi,
A taxi. Yep. Keep going.
cop car.
Cop car. Still
Right.
a cop car.
Choo-choo train.
Choo-choo train
Wait,
is
still
tough. It's tough. Yeah.
Well-
you can pause there.
Well, he chose the cop car. He stole this cop car from an airport, started driving. They actually had trouble tracking him at first and finding him until they saw that he used a credit card that belonged to the cop that was left in the cop car. And so they found him at this store that he uses credit card at, and so they were able to track him down. They arrested him. He confessed to stealing the cruiser, and he said it was only because he was on this spiritual journey and he needed to find a way home. He thought that the cops would be okay with that they would
Well-
support his journey.
Yeah.
And
You usually have
anyways,
to check in though on the walkie-talkie. He
Right.
must
Yeah.
not, he must not checked in and said, "This is for a spiritual journey.
Not a joyride.
It's not a joyride.
No,
I'm not
right.
stealing.
Please
this."
don't follow.
Yes,
I'm concerned that it took the cops so long to find one of their missing cars.
that's concerning.
I know. That's what I
You would
was
think
thinking.
there'd be some type of identification that's trackable.
Right, because it was 2 hours after he
Oof.
stole it that he used the credit card.
Yeah, after and he got busted by doing one of the dumbest things a thief can do
credit
is use a
card,
stolen
yeah.
credit card.
Right.
I wish there was like this positioning system that they could put up in the sky and they could track like important things like
Right.
cop cars with guns in them.
Right.
Because that seems like something,
What will we call it?
some type of Earth
Satellite.
positioning satellite.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't know.
EPS.
They need to
EPS.
figure it out for that cruiser specifically.
Cameron
maybe
ripped
they're
into him
in
again.
maybe they're in an area where they just can't afford it. So pay your taxes and
Whoa.
support your local
This
cops.
guy flips it on the working man.
I know.
We try to blame it the establishment. He's like, no, it's people paying their taxes. This guy.
I'm a voice
elitist.
of the people.
Jeez.
Okay, our next headline.
Okay.
We have a Florida man that was arrested for going into a house, stealing $15,000 in cash.
Okay.
2 handguns.
Okay.
Louis Vuitton shoes.
Okay.
Which
So it's a female thief.
no, I don't know about that, but
Oh.
the shoes are like worth $1,000, which is like mind blowing to me. Louis Vuitton hoodie. That's
That's what I'm
also
talking
worth
about.
$1,000.
Yeah, I can see that. They make good material.
Right, and a dog.
Well,
Okay.
that one's an oddball.
How much was the dog worth?
Well, that's interesting because this Florida man, 34 years old, was holding the pet ransom for $20,000.
Pardon.
Now I
So-
wonder if it was sentimental value
I
or
don't know, but the thing is that's weird is they say that the suspect texted the victim for several hours. So it doesn't say that they knew each other.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to assume
had
that
the
they did
number.
or they
Yeah.
found the number somewhere.
You up?
yeah. What are you doing?
He's like taking selfies with the dog.
You miss your dog?
Jesus.
So he was threatening to harm the dog if the
Oh.
money was not paid,
Wow.
obviously, which is sad.
Those would be fun pictures to take.
Right.
I'm going to get them.
yeah.
The suspect, this is weird. Okay.
Yeah.
The suspect told the victim that he was watching him and would accurately state the victim's location. So the suspect knew exactly where the victim was, and deputies found out later that there was a tracker underneath the victim's vehicle.
Oh,
So wait a minute. This robber can track a dog owner like
Oh,
that.
here we go.
But cops can't find one of their own
Oh,
cars.
bang, 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 bang. Got him. You know, if the
man.
working man just paid his taxes.
Yeah.
Right, Cam?
Right. All right. Anyways, the victim moved the meeting. He's like, okay, I can't meet today with this $20,000. My bank's not open. I got to get it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So can we meet tomorrow? And
Nice.
the suspect, his last name is Paris. He raised the ransom to $25,000.
Well, I get it. You made him wait a day.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And so at this point, the victim had already taken his phone to deputies.
Whoa.
And so the deputies were the ones actually talking to the suspect at this point.
Whoa.
And they set up a location to drop the money off.
Denny's.
And to
Yeah.
kind of swap the dog and all this kind of stuff. And so, I mean, this guy literally did what he said. I mean, he went to the drop off location.
Okay.
Cops were there. They arrested him. They took the dog.
What?
The dog was fine. Yeah. I mean, but the
Hasn't
part
he-
that's. Go ahead.
Has he never watched movies?
I don't know. That's a
always
weird
the
thing.
situation.
You never go to the drop-off spot.
Like
No.
he's prepared enough to have a tracker on
Bingo.
somebody's car, but he's not prepared enough to think, what if these people go to the cops? Like, like
He's like, they wouldn't lie to me.
no, they wouldn't lie. They'll give me $25,000.
I don't. That and here's the thing. I'm just assuming.
Sounds like an inside job.
Well, I was gonna say. I assume the owners were well off if they were like, "Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
give you $20K for that dog."
Well, they
You know what
they
I
have
mean?
Louis
Like-
Vuitton hoodie.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
$1,000.
Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, nobody wants a dog to be kidnapped. But
No,
$20K. Like,
I don't know. I mean, I'm just glad the dog's okay. Obviously.
what was the dog's name?
It says Rufus.
Bandit.
Yeah. I would- $20K for a Rufus? I don't think so.
Never that.
Oh, all right. Next one. Florida man arrested after meltdown at Checkers.
Oh,
Now,
Hey.
I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been
before.
there.
So,
What, is it the double drive-through meltdown?
Probably. So if you don't have a Checkers in your area, Checkers are what's the one that they're like sister
Rallies.
companies with?
Rallies.
Right. And so they're like this little building and it's just drive through or walk up to
Yeah.
get your food.
Yes, that's true.
That's important.
Yep.
And they have, just like burgers and
You
things
gotta
like that.
tell them it's dual.
They have good fries though.
You have to tell them it's
Am
a
I right?
dual drive-up.
It
It's
is
a
a
dual
dual
drive-through.
side-by-side drive-through.
Yeah, cars on both sides. So this Florida man walked up to the window, ordered his food, 49 years old, and he was upset
Yeah.
because when he ordered his burger, they said, "Oh, yeah, that's fine. We'll make that, but I'm sorry, we're actually out of lettuce." And the guy had a meltdown over not having lettuce on his burger. I'm like, that is the least important
is the least important.
of
Yeah.
a burger.
But you better discount me.
Like if you went and
For
said,
sure.
okay, I want a bacon cheeseburger, and they're like, sorry, we don't have any bacon.
Yeah, but we'll
Or
charge you for it.
cheese.
Well, that,
Oh,
that
geez.
changes the dish.
That
Right.
changes the dish because you're saying it by name.
Right.
But if it's an understanding like pickles or tomatoes or thyme.
No, right.
You know?
Okay,
Hold
I
on.
see what you're saying.
Did he order the lettuce burger?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, the
Oh, well,
lettuce
then
wrap
that's a
burger.
pickle.
That's a
That's a
key
problem.
ingredient.
Yeah.
So he literally started throwing things and banging on the window. Like I said,
Okay.
this is like a walk-up thing.
Right.
So he's hitting the window, yelling at employees. Employees called the
Hold
cops,
on.
and they're like, "Dude, what is this about?" Like, I think the employees were just so confused at first, like what was even happening, because they probably didn't register. This man,
Yeah.
this man really wants some
This is
lettuce.
the first time in the history of food that somebody picked a
That's
fight over not
for
having
real.
lettuce.
Lettuce. I mean, and luckily it was at a Checkers, because if you think about it, they're pretty well protected. I mean, it's not nobody can get into those places.
That's
I mean,
They're locked
if this
down.
has happened to you before, let us know.
Whoa.
There he is.
on
I picked
social
out
media.
lettuce out of my salad. I hate lettuce.
Yeah,
so
most
much.
people.
Amen.
Right.
Most people don't want lettuce on their burgers, or they're gonna pick it off.
I'm
but-
going to go out on a limb and say
Go for
something
it.
else is
Nice,
going on
another
in this
plant
guy's-
joke.
in this
Oh,
guy's
yeah.
house and
For
this
sure.
guy's life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think he was struggling with something else, and then the lettuce pushed him over the
You
edge.
think he was struggling before he showed up to Checkers?
I think if you're at Checkers, I
It's
mean,
the last straw.
it's not a great day.
No, not
It's not
great.
a great day. If you're at Checkers, it's not a great day.
All right, next headline. Let me take you to the villages.
Come
Oh,
on.
no.
I
that's
feel like
where-
we need like a whole segment
Yeah.
on the villages at this point.
Can I guess? I'm going to guess STD, Josh.
Golf cart.
Okay.
Okay. Wayne's closest.
No.
So we have a Florida man. I'm gonna have to do this one very delicately.
Okay.
Okay, we're a family show, right?
we are a
We are
family
a family
show.
show.
We
We're a
have
family
families
show.
listening nationwide.
So this Florida man, we'll just call him Glenn. He's 59 years old.
Glenn's a nice name.
And he is facing charges of indecent exposure.
Okay. I see
Okay.
where this is
Yep.
going.
That's
Right.
showing man.
Exactly. That's it.
That's it.
That's
That was
all we need to
I
say.
was stopping
Showing
there.
man.
So he went to this this place called Oakland Hills Professional Center around 8 p.m. in July. Okay.
Oh, it's hot out there that day.
Right. And it says that he disrobed from the waist down, but he did leave his orange polo shirt and his sandals on.
He's a Winnie the Pooh, bro. I've done that impersonation many a time. Yeah.
So, anyways, he's standing there in his polo and his sandals, and he's kind of like in a back area. He thinks nobody can see him.
Oh, really?
And so, anyways,
Yeah.
he's standing there without any pants on. Well, somebody did see him because this woman got a Ring doorbell alert.
Oh, no.
That there was motion at the back door of this business, and so she pulls her phone up and sees on her camera this
Yes.
man.
Yes.
Right.
Winnie
And-
the Poohing.
And
Exactly.
Glenn leans into the doorbell camera and goes, "Oh, bother." Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
I'll see that video.
So here's the thing. They had this footage. The
Okay.
footage went to
Yeah.
the cops, and the cops released it to this little thing called villagesnews.com.
Oh, my gosh.
Love villages.
Villages
36 minutes.
dash news.com.
36 minutes later.
And
he's
so
identified.
it's everywhere in the villages.
Ooh.
And so Glenn sees this. He's like,
No.
Yes, he
saw it?
sees himself on the villagesnews.com.
Wow.
And so he turned himself in.
Whoa.
He was just like,
Good for him,
I
dude.
want this to go away. It wasn't he goes to the cops. Here's the funny part. This is why I had to read the story.
Give it to me.
He had to be dropped off at the police department by his 90-year-old mom.
Oof,
So his mom took him to the police station
How did
because he was
explain
Winnie the
this?
Poohing in the
Yes.
back of a business.
And they didn't take it down, obviously, because you found it.
Well, here's the thing. So, like I said, it happened in July, but this just came out like this week. It somehow, I think it got
They
because
buried
of,
it. Glenn
I think it
buried
got
it.
buried somehow, not like purposefully, but like with like Corona stuff, everything was kind of behind.
You
So it was like
working for Glenn,
sealed.
bro?
I am working for Glenn. Yeah, got to get him that honey.
Glenn
And
was the
so-
one. Gotta get him that honey.
And so,
Oh, Jesus.
anyways, he turned himself in. He's
Yeah.
facing some charges. He's out on bond, but he was like, "Please, please let me, go out on bond. I got to take care of my mom,
Right.
and all this kind of stuff." And he's like, "It was a misunderstanding. I didn't think anybody would be back there."
I was just trying to party.
I don't
Right.
think the excuse that nobody is supposed to be back there besides him and Winnie the Pooh.
I know.
excuse.
I know. And I think, too, man, like, I don't know. Glenn doesn't sound like a pervert to me. It sounds like he was
No,
in the
he's
wrong
doing it
place
out
at
in
the
the
wrong
wild.
time.
Well, he definitely was in the wrong place, doing the wrong thing at the wrong time.
They
Right.
did
Right.
say CCTV is the death of the exhibitionist.
Right.
Right.
They have said that, and I've read that in a book.
Amen.
All right,
So-
last one.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a
Aw.
feel good one because
Oh, that's
Josh
no
hates
good.
him.
A boo.
All right, so we have a Florida man named Chris, who was the first. This is pretty amazing. The first athlete with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman triathlon.
Come on,
So
Chris.
Iron Man, though.
Ironman. I'm gonna.
Come
and
on,
if you
my
don't know what it
dude.
is, I'll tell
That's
you in
like
just
the
a minute.
huge one.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Oh, don't like that.
So he's 21 years old from Maitland, Florida, and he earned himself a Guinness World Record for doing this
Holy
race.
crap.
Okay,
Come
which
on.
the Special Olympics are calling historic achievement. Chris swam 2.4 miles,
Jeez, okay, nope.
biked 112 miles, and then ran 26.2 miles in 16 hours and 46 minutes.
Oh my
Bro.
gosh.
And this happened in Panama City Beach, I think a couple weeks ago. But yeah, anyways, I guess the cutoff time is like 18 hours.
Yeah.
So this is just a massive achievement to be able to finish it and finish
unreal.
it like officially within
What's
the time.
What's the
I
first
can't
one?
literally cannot imagine.
What's the bike ride?
112
That's the one.
miles.
That's just, why?
Okay, but
Just why?
swimming 2.4 miles,
Impossible.
running 26. So people train for years to do to just
marathon.
run a marathon, which
Sure.
is 26.2 miles, but add that 2.4 mile swim
Jeez.
and then 112. Yeah, it's
Superhuman.
insane.
Chris,
So
you're
we just
superhuman,
want to shout
brother.
you out, and that's amazing.
Love you,
Anybody
my
that
dude.
All right, this
anybody
feel-good
that can do
one
that's amazing.
is pretty good.
Love you, dude.
It's not the guy that built the ship out of everybody else's property.
right.
That's not a feel
Like
good
last
one.
week.
Last week.
Last
Well-
week, Cameron brought a feel-good story, and Josh was angry.
I know. I knew
was
I had to step
really
it up, and Chris stepped it up for us all.
Well, this guy, I decided I'd build a 30-foot boat.
Here we
of
go.
The Black Pearl. Just do pirate ship, bro. You know it's not a replica. Just say pirate ship.
I think it was official replica.
If it's not stamped and signed by JD. Well, hello, fellas.
Hello.
Hello, Josh. Good to see you.
Very good to see you guys. I feel good.
You look great.
I feel great tonight,
Yeah.
actually. I was being humble.
Right.
So, after last week, I'm pumped, bro. I'm
Right.
feeling like
You should be.
King of Kings.
You should be.
Yeah. And I drive home, and sitting out there in the yard, Uncle Barrel.
Come on. What a roommate.
What a roommate.
What a
And-
roommate.
And he's just standing there. He's looking up at the moon. Like he does.
Like he does.
You,
Right.
you guys know
Right
this.
before he howls.
Yeah. Well, he's quieted down a lot since he
Yeah.
got the cops called. So I go I go talking to him, and I'm like, he's like, "How was the recording?" I was like, "Good." And I gave him the premise of the idea,
Right.
about being a guru. And I was pumped. And he's like, "That's a dangerous game you're playing."
About being the
Whoa.
guru.
Yeah, about being the guru.
Yeah, but you played it so well. Hold on, let me back up.
Tell us.
You did it so well. Not
You-
played.
Yeah.
you are
I had
the
a lot of
guru.
responses,
Right.
dude. A lot of people wrote in.
He said,
Super genuine.
I didn't take you as one to be so introspective."
Right.
Huh.
And I'm like, the last word. What'd you mean by that?
I know what it means, but you tell me what you think it means.
Yeah. Tell me. And he's like, bro, the unexamined life, he's like, the Socratic dictum, the unexamined life is not
Right.
worth living.
This
Right.
is
And I
Uncle
was like,
Barrel.
yeah, this is
talking.
Uncle Barrel. And I'm like, I mean, I know that. I know
Right.
that one.
Right.
It's a Socratic dictum, like you said. It's
Right.
one of my favorites.
Right.
And he's
It's
like,
your favorite.
Why don't you tell
Socratic
me what
dictum.
you think
Why
that
don't you
means?
tell me? And so I'm like, yeah. So I'm in introspection now.
Right.
And now I'm like helping people. And
Right.
he's like, that's cool. He's like, I just didn't take you for understanding yourself so much. He's like, because that quote I always send you by Jiddu Krishnamurti.
Right.
And I'm like, you send me so many good ones. And he's like, no, when I understand myself, I understand you.
Come on.
And out of that understanding comes love.
Right.
Oh.
He's like, I always
Right.
send you that after you unclog my toilet
Right.
because you understand the position I'm in.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm like, I get it now. I got to dig deep in this.
So you're a deeper person now.
Well, I wouldn't say there.
Oh,
There's a lot
okay.
of layers, this onion, baby.
So he's saying that in order for you to be a better guru, you need to be more introspective.
Yeah, I need to identify problems within myself so that I don't flip them.
Okay. So you don't project.
Oh,
Bingo.
gotcha.
I see.
So I dig deep. I put Judge Judy on.
Right.
I sit there, I play with the dogs, and I'm like, time for introspection.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Let it come to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
Yeah. And sure enough, I get hit with it. I get hit with all these memories of me reacting to basic situations,
Okay.
but in extreme ways. And I find when I get like pressured a lot,
Okay.
I'll make the worst, maybe the most extreme answer. So after this internal deep thought, I find I'm overwhelmed easily.
Okay.
Right.
And I didn't know if
I think a lot
you
of
guys
people
could help
are.
me with, do you see any internal issues that I may be carrying around or maybe reflecting on you guys?
Oof.
So you're saying that whenever you're presented with something that like maybe is problematic, you go to the extreme to get out of it.
Yeah, that's the problem with what's happening. I mean, just last week, maybe a week before last,
Okay.
I started talking to a girl.
Right.
Nice.
As you do.
What's new to me is she's like, let's get on Snapchat.
Oof.
And the only thing I know about Snapchat is for
Exactly what you just said. Snapchat.
Right.
yeah. And so I'm like, I gotta get out of this.
Right.
I'm not having that on the internet.
Right.
I don't want to be a part of that. I'm not ready.
Right.
And so immediately I start freaking out. So I go, okay, I text her, I got to take my dog out. And then I bricked my phone.
What do you mean?
Well, I turned it off.
Uh-huh.
I took the case off and I drop it like a foot because I'm not going to lie. I'm not a liar.
Right.
So you, to get out of Snapchatting this girl, you literally busted your phone.
Yes.
You
So
could have just told her no.
I can't. I don't like giving bad news. That's another flaw. Thanks for bringing it up.
no.
Okay, so basically what you're saying, so we're here to help you out with this.
Yeah.
Whenever you're presented with a situation that makes you uncomfortable, you're going to the extremes to get out of it.
It's
Yeah.
the hardest path.
Instead of just saying to this girl, like, hey, I don't want to Snapchat you, you break your phone.
Yeah. And that took like 24 hours for me to get it back on.
Oh,
I had
my
to download
gosh.
a repair app.
So when you're sitting with your dogs and you're thinking about this, having your introspective moment,
I am.
what other scenarios came to mind?
Well, there was, of course, the custodian
Okay, go ahead.
which on the resume it was, or on the application it was janitor, but I'm
Right.
a custodian.
You're a custodial worker.
and it's like 6th floor building. This is pretty cool setup because just stay inside, right?
right.
Here's the keys. Start at the top. Go down each office. Do the garbage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did
do
you
the
get a
garbage.
cool like ring of keys?
Oh, cool ring of keys, but even cooler, like stainless steel backpack vacuum.
Nice.
Oh, come on, like a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, so I'd come around the
Ghostbuster,
corner
yeah.
and I'd be like, stick them up,
Yeah,
But,
stick
but
'em
nobody
up.
was there because you were there.
stick them up, goober.
Stick 'em
and
up,
then and I
dust.
would suck them up.
Yeah. So what happened there?
So I get like 3 hours in,
Right.
and I'm like still on the 6th floor,
Okay.
and so now
That
I'm
made
like,
it very far.
Now I'm like rushing because I'm trying to get through each office.
Right.
And I go to the next office to let myself in. I got no keys. So I'm like, okay, let me go back. Let me backtrack.
Right.
So I go back to the other office. The other office was like 16 tiny ones with tiny garbages. And after that 10 minutes of looking, I couldn't find it. So I quit the job.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How long had you been there?
That was night two.
Day 2?
Well, day one was training. That guy
So
was
this
going
is
on
the-
vacation.
This is the first time you actually worked the job.
Yeah, I didn't. Day one, although day one, I wasn't in charge of the keys.
Right.
So I didn't have that
Right.
training.
They didn't train you for
I
that.
didn't have the muscle memory.
So
Right.
so instead of
you
going
didn't
back
have that weight memory of like, you didn't know you were missing them.
somewhere on the 6th floor, in a span of what?
3 hours?
Yeah, 3 hours. You
Yeah.
lost your entire set of janitorial keys.
I lost the company's entire set of janitorial
Good
keys,
Lord.
yeah.
And instead of going back tracking,
I did. I searched for
10
like 10
minutes.
minutes. But that's the anxiety of like, I can't find them.
sure.
I don't want to search for 5 hours because who wants to do that?
and
Or
so,
just ask for help.
That was just me.
so
Nope-
then you
nobody
text
else.
the owner and you go, hey, I quit.
Yeah, I just told him, hey, it's
So
not
he
for me.
bricked his phone first and then.
It's not for me. I quit. And then I
he's
turned
like-
my phone off.
And he's like, and he's like, can you turn my keys in? And he's like, and you're like, no.
I didn't reply. I turned my phone off. Because
For how long?
I don't like that reply.
I mean, it's not
Right.
like you took the keys, so.
Thank you. I'm not
That's
a
good.
thief.
Right.
They'll come across it.
So, the most extreme version, this was in my youth.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah,
I
I
love it.
I was an Etsy seller
Okay.
when it first came out.
A what?
Etsy, it's
Oh,
a
Etsy.
yeah, it's a website on the
The
internet.
craft thing?
Yeah, the craft thing.
Okay.
Right.
So I would sell custom paintings. So like a
Okay.
couple would recommend,
You are a
or
good
a
painter.
couple would ask me, do this painting of us.
Right.
Okay, cool.
But this guy
That's
wanted
Winnie the Pooh.
That's Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
This guy wanted his trip around the country on the Amtrak in portraiture of him and his girlfriend.
What?
Just he knew. He's like, I know you can do it. I know you're creative.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, well, don't pay me yet.
It sounds
Don't
complicated.
pay me down payment. Let me get the idea first.
Right.
Right.
Because I want to be. I'm not a thief, like I said.
Right. So was this like a gift for someone this guy was commissioning?
For himself and his girlfriend.
Okay.
It could have been a gift for his girlfriend.
Okay.
So 6 weeks go by, and I see the guy like writing, like, how's it going? And I hadn't touched it. So I get my girlfriend at the time, send him a message from another account,
Okay.
and say, he's no longer with us.
No, you did not.
I closed my entire Etsy store.
You faked a death over a painting?
Yes, I didn't get paid, but yeah,
You could have just said,
I couldn't give him the bad news. So now he thinks I'm dead.
Oh my gosh.
And hopefully he doesn't listen to the show.
Yeah, well,
And now he's hearing it.
you
for
lost
the first
you lost
time.
a source of income because of one painting?
yeah, I was so stressed about it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
I just couldn't picture it. It was such a complex idea. How do you show two people going across the country on a train?
I know.
Stupid.
It
So-
is stupid.
so
It is stupid.
It's so stupid.
To help kind of, I guess, give you closure on this,
Yeah.
you bricked your phone to avoid Snapchatting a girl.
Well, because I'm a prude, I'm a good boy.
Right.
Yeah.
And you quit your job because you lost a set of keys.
That one probably sounds the worst, right?
Okay. And then you faked your
Faking
death.
a death is probably always worse.
He
And-
hadn't met me in person. The guy with the keys met me in person.
That's true.
So
What was the response
Oh my gosh, Josh.
from this couple?
I turned off my phone and then I blocked them.
Okay.
Well, I turned off my computer there because I closed my Etsy.
You can't
shut
risk
down.
it.
No, and I shut off the computer because you know
Right.
how they can sneak in messages to your email and stuff.
That's true.
How often do you do this? Is this why we don't hear back from you for like a couple days sometimes?
Whoops.
William Billy Lamar Beane III was born March 29th, 1962.
Whoa, there's the name.
I heard 4 names.
Yeah.
William Billy Lamar Beane III.
What a name.
Bean is my favorite part.
Yeah,
of
There's
that.
3 of them.
The third.
There's 3 of them walking
Okay.
around. March 29th, 1962. That's a
Oh.
big name, but we're going to call him Billy Beane. How's that work?
Okay, Billy Beane.
1962.
Billy Beane.
Recent.
Billy grew up in Mayport, Florida.
Okay.
Okay.
He was what some people call a military brat.
Oh, home of the Navy Bean.
Right.
Yes.
Which honestly, the military brat, that's an offensive term, I feel like.
Yeah,
You
probably.
assume the kid's a brat. Like
I think-
he's a mean
I assume most kids are brats.
Any kind of brat is, yeah.
a brat.
I guess
It's
that's
offensive.
true.
Yeah.
But being in a military family meant that you traveled a lot as a kid.
Right.
Okay.
Never really settling in.
Why
and
is
making
that?
friends. I think they get reassigned places.
Yeah,
and
they don't
then
want you to get
just-
too comfy
Oh, okay.
because then you're off your guard.
You gotta stay on
is
your
that it
toes
for
so you
real?
can, so you
That's
can kill
not it.
better.
That's not it.
Oh, hello.
Jeez.
That's what I always thought.
Okay.
But it's a tough life for most. But Billy Beane had a great family. So he had a great foundation. His father, who was a naval officer, taught him how to pitch,
Okay.
like in baseball,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
at a very young age.
Not musically.
Not musically. So when he was young, his father's like, hey, here's how you pitch.
Right.
Cool.
Billy was a natural.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. He
I'd
really
like to
had
call
that-
myself that when I was a kid too.
The natural.
Yeah, I was a natural.
the natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was throwing smoked sausage across that plate faster than
He
you could.
was.
Amen. I was.
He could catch it.
Well, Billy Beane was an athlete. Okay. He wasn't just throwing food around like Cameron.
I told you. Everybody knows, Cam. Everybody knows.
Billy attended Mount Carmel High School,
Yeah.
where he not only excelled in baseball, but he was a star player in football and basketball as well.
Cool. I hate
Okay,
him
those
already.
guys. Yeah.
Yep.
So when I was writing
Let
this,
me guess. He's handsome.
yes.
Okay.
When I was writing this, I knew you were going to say that.
I know. You know I get
In
jealous.
parentheses, Josh hates him.
You know I get jealous when people put in time and effort
Right.
and then have success from that.
Right,
Exactly.
right. So all this is going well. He's making all these teams on the varsity level while he's a freshman. Okay.
Of course.
Cool,
But the
cool.
problem was these university scouts would show up to his high school and they wanted Billy Beane to kind of chill out a little bit because
Really?
they
Okay.
felt like he was too scatterbrained when it came to his focus. Like, you're too good at too many things.
Yeah.
You got to dial it in.
I've been told that.
Me and you.
I know.
Right.
You know that.
You
can't
guys
go out
know,
in public.
you guys know that.
Dial it in.
Yeah, are you guys athletes or male models? And I'm like, I'm just hanging out with my friend.
Dial it in.
Leave us alone for a bit.
Amen.
So basically, he chose to dial it in on baseball.
Okay.
They saw real potential in him. And so that's what Billy did. He took a step back from other sports. He really started rehearsing his baseball routines, practicing for his baseball matches.
Right.
They call it that.
Rehearsing.
Yeah.
I do want to say, though, is it like a thing when you're like a third that is there like pressure on you to like be
Something great.
Something great?
As somebody who technically is a third, I'd say no.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't think
You're
no.
a third?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think the second has the most
The
pressure.
second has the most pressure. Once he fails, third's like, what else?
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you go around calling yourself Wayne the Third?
But if you're the fourth, you better
Oh.
be up
King
there.
of England.
Amen.
So even though it was known that Billy was focusing on nothing else but baseball, university scouts were still trying to pick him up and give him full ride scholarships to play other sports.
Jeez.
Whoa.
That's how
Of
good he
course,
was.
yeah.
So
a
Stanford University offered Billy Beane a full ride football scholarship
Cool.
to replace their current sophomore quarterback,
What?
little guy named John Elway.
What?
Is Stanford known for their football program, Cam?
At the time, I don't think John Elway was practically known
Okay.
to what he would become.
Yeah.
But just a funny coincidence
Yeah.
there. Like, Billy Beane was so good, they were like, hey, come replace this John Elway
Jeez.
guy
Yeah.
in
He's
football.
garbage.
But the only issue was it wasn't just university scouts showing up to Billy's games.
Okay.
It was also Major League Baseball scouts showing up as well.
Is it Slim Pickens right now? Why does
No.
everybody love Billy Beane?
In
Yeah,
the 80s,
Joe
it was-
Schmo on thirds.
Hey, guys.
Look at me.
I
Look at
played
me.
my whole life.
I know.
I'm good.
I think he was just the perfect package. He was an all-star athlete.
Yep.
He was a good-looking guy.
Right.
Man.
Very successful.
Yeah.
So the New York Mets
Smelled good.
The New
He
York
smelled
Mets.
great. He smelled great.
Man.
The New York Mets had the first overall selection
Wow.
in the 1980 draft, meaning they got the first pick of the
That
of
was
the
a
litter,
good draft.
Yeah.
That was a good draft.
and they were leaning towards Billy Beane.
Okay.
He's a child at this point. He's
Now-
16 years old.
He's 16.
He's in high school still.
Now, if let's say during the draft, you have no choice as a human, as a citizen of the United States. If the
If the
NFL
baseball-
draft picks you, you have to go.
right. If any major league team wants you,
Yeah.
it's like the Hunger Games. You have to go.
Jesus, man. I'm so.
or not play that year.
I think that's why I was sucked at sports because I never wanted to be.
You didn't want to
drafted.
be drafted.
Yeah.
I agree. So the problem was Billy was facing a lot of pressure to go to Stanford.
Mhm.
Okay, because here's kind of this dilemma.
College is a good choice.
It is, and that's the argument that was happening with his family. His parents are like, you get this education at a prestigious school,
Yep.
full ride,
Right.
or go play Major League Baseball. So because of this kind of wavering and him not really being able to make a decision because he's freaking a kid.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The New York Mets go, look, we still want you, but we're not going to use our first round pick on you. Because we feel
Okay.
like you might need some time.
Okay.
So they went with, oddly enough, a Hall of Famer, Darryl Strawberry.
Oh, he was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
love him.
So
Yeah.
just a lot of famous people surrounding Billy Beane before he's even made
Right.
a name for himself.
They used to call Darryl Strawberry. Hey, go Darryl Strawberry.
That's what they would say. That's what it says on his baseball card. Hey, go, Darryl.
Wayne could have made that name up and we would have been like, oh, yeah, love him.
So basically what happened is Billy Beane ends up deciding to go play Major League Baseball, but it took a bit of convincing. The Mets fly him out
Yep.
to their headquarters, which is like their baseball castle,
Oh,
where the king of the team lives.
Mets
And so-
Village.
right, in Metsville, New York.
The conductor.
Right. And so while he's there, they're kind of giving him this tour of like, look, this is what your life could be.
Right.
Like lavish living.
Bikini girls.
Right.
Bubble
All the
baths.
food you want, burble baths.
Burble baths.
Yeah, that's such a high class level
Yeah,
of
It's
bubble.
fancier than bubbles.
If you don't know what it is, you can't afford it.
very
Amen.
thick bubbles.
A good burble bath. I think it's bourbon and bubbles.
Oh, okay, definitely.
Yeah. So basically, he gets there. He's taking this tour, and the icing of the cake was they sit him down and they show him a $125,000 check with his name on it.
Boom,
and they
baby,
go,
I'm in.
They go, hey, just agree to it, and we'll give it to you right now.
Jeez.
Wow.
So Billy,
We know you're a young dumb kid.
Right.
You can't turn out.
exactly. He's 17 years old at this
Yeah.
point. They're waving this lavish lifestyle in front of him, and Billy Beane goes, yeah, I'm in. Which honestly, this is the exact way we got Cameron to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young,
Check. I would show him a
naive,
check
right.
for $125.
beautiful,
Handsome.
yeah. We wave money in his face.
Verbal bass.
But just to clarify, his scholarship at college was for football, right?
It was.
Which, because there you're like, you can get hurt.
I know.
Football is just a much more aggressive sport. And
Baseball,
so,
you just swing the stick around all day.
and easy living.
Easy
I
living.
think I could live both lives, like lie to both and do the
Play
college.
each one?
Yeah.
Just fly across the country,
Yeah.
do the red eye flights. I think so. But basically, Billy Beane signing to the New York Mets
Uh-huh.
begins his decade-long career
Nice.
with Major League Baseball.
Fun.
So a major league team right out of high school, and for the most part, everything's going as planned. He's making money.
Mm-hmm.
He's making a name for himself.
He's hitting balls.
He's hitting
Smacking
balls with
them.
sticks.
Yeah.
But after a few years, some of that star quality begins to wear off.
Oh, here we go.
So he gets
Oh, no.
he gets injured.
Oh,
And he's
Oh,
slowing
geez.
down a bit. And for a professional athlete, a reoccurring nagging injury is career ending. I
Right.
mean,
Yep.
once that starts, it's hard to really
Yeah.
recover from
Baseball, you play five times a week.
I don't
Right.
get that.
that. So unfortunately for Billy, 3 years into his career, he gets traded.
What? 20 years old?
He gets traded to the Minnesota Twins, 20 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a huge blow to his confidence.
yeah.
Mhm.
Nobody
He-
likes the Twins.
He's barely getting started. He gets traded to the Twins. And so basically this begins what's a series of unfortunate events, okay?
Right.
Mhm.
He gets injured again.
Oof.
So the Twins trade him.
He's done for.
Oh my god.
He gets injured a fourth time.
Right.
He
What?
gets traded again.
So he just keeps injuring himself to get to new places?
Baseball's
Apparently,
so weird, man. With,
Baseball is weird.
ugh.
after about 9 years of this,
Yeah.
Billy Beane ends up at the Oakland Athletics baseball team.
I think
Okay.
that's probably the last
What is
place
this
you want to be.
position though?
So if you're listening and you're not a huge fan of baseball like myself, let me
Yeah.
explain this to you. Leaving the New York Mets in the 1980s and ending up in Oakland with the Athletics is not a good thing.
Right.
That's not what you would call climbing the ladder of success.
That would be the opposite.
the sports name is athletics.
right.
Okay. That's not there's no more on
The
the,
team's
list of
name.
creative names.
No, and it's because you imagine this.
Athletic is implied.
Right,
I don't know
exactly.
Why, I don't believe
we
you
are
more.
athletic.
Yes.
Right.
Play a
I
sport.
feel like I named the team.
For real.
The Athletics. So a few years after being in Oakland, he approaches the general manager and says, I think I need a desk job.
Wow.
Okay,
that's got to be a
that's-
tough one.
That's a low.
Yeah, because he's like, I love the sport of baseball and theoretically I'm good at it, but my body is giving out. I
Right.
can't do it anymore.
Right.
And so basically, he gets a job off the field. He becomes a scout,
Okay.
kind of full circle. You
Right.
know what I mean? That's
Fun.
this is
Yeah,
how he
was,
started. Yeah.
And
Probably a pay drop.
So now he's the guy, going around to schools and trying to find kids to play Major League Baseball.
That'd be a fun job, though.
that would be fun.
Well, the process of scouting,
I don't know. It still involves watching baseball.
right?
So
But the process of scouting is kind of convoluted.
Okay.
So to kind of break it down a bit, at this point in the 90s, for decades and decades, scouting in baseball has been done the same way.
Mhm.
It's old baseball players looking at young baseball players
Right.
to see if they have what it takes.
okay.
So
I
they-
used to do that.
Right, exactly. That used
For
to
what,
be
water
me.
skiing?
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying
No,
you were-
I'm saying the
you were
old
putting your
baseball
role as
players.
Yeah,
Right.
they sit behind the fence like that used to be me.
Yeah.
He was so good. I was like, I believe it.
He scouted skiers.
Yeah.
So basically, they weren't just looking at their athleticism; they were looking to see if they were the total package, right? So, are they marketable? Are they good looking and built well?
Right.
Because
Amen.
there's a lot of guys who are good at the sport but
Yeah.
kind of tubby.
That's what they.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
I
That's what they always said about me
sloppy.
and skiing.
Yeah,
He's a little sloppy on the skis.
I don't know if I really want him or not.
Looks wise, but he can carve, baby.
Well, they would even look and say, like, was their personality? What's it like on and off the field? How would
Right.
they look selling merchandise?
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of the question these scouters
We have to sell
were asking.
calendars and such.
Right.
I know, exactly. That's how they fundraise. And so all these things go into account when recruiting. And so Billy Beane comes along and he's like, you know what? Like, I don't know. I think there's a better way to do it.
Yeah. Besides handsomeness and
Right, exactly. So Billy, he kind of works his way through the ranks of the Oakland Athletics office squad. And in 7 years, he goes from minor league recruiter to general manager of the entire team.
Wow.
Jeez.
Is that the natural progression?
Not that quickly.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think at all. No, I don't think it's a natural progression at all. So a baseball general manager, they handle the big financial transactions, the firing and hiring of the players. They're the big dog.
Yeah.
Right.
When you show up and say, "Where be the big dog?"
The GM's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not the coach.
They're not the
yeah,
coach.
no.
They oversee everything.
Coach handles on field stuff. Yeah.
Right. Exactly it. So basically, when Billy is given this job, the owners of the team, they sit him down to kind of give him some bad news. They go, look, we want you to build a championship level baseball team. We want you to recruit the absolute best players out there, but we're broke.
Okay.
Oh, well, there's
Yeah.
But they said it's 4 names, right?
Right.
There's Benjamin Hufer the third.
Billy Beane.
Bean.
We're broke.
We're broke.
So basically, they give him $2 million to build a championship team. To put that in perspective,
Yes.
other teams have hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
Because I thought I remember baseball contracts and there was like 37 million.
Right. Exactly.
They're going on Craigslist to find their baseball players.
They're giving him a fraction of the other team budgets and
Easily.
saying, but in order to keep your job, build us a
Jeez.
championship team. And so basically, on a shoestring budget, that's what Billy does. He and his friend, Sandy Alderson, they develop an equation.
Well, Sandy was paid $500,000, so they're really down.
Right, they're
good
down.
amount there.
They're
Yeah.
big time. That's a quarter of their budget.
Yeah, for real.
All right.
Dang
So
it, Sandy.
basically, they develop an equation.
Yeah.
And this equation only cares about one thing. How often do the players get on base? Okay. So
Okay.
it doesn't
I mean,
matter.
that's important.
Well, it doesn't matter if you were hit by a pitch or if you were walked. They don't really care about any of that. The equation cares about when and how often you got on base.
Okay.
So basically, because they saw it as if you get on base, you have potential to score points.
Right.
This is true.
Yeah.
So forget,
More than if you don't.
You're ugly as sin, but you can get on
Get on
base.
but that's
base,
exactly
baby.
it. So he's basically saying, forget if they're marketable. No more flying out to high schools to see you play a game. From now on, every recruitable player is just a number.
Jeez.
And we're
Wow.
plugging it into an equation.
I feel that.
So Billy is looking at their on-base average,
Yep.
putting it into his equation, and if the numbers work, he hires them blindly on the spot.
Perfect.
Jeez. Wow.
You
So-
got to test this theory fully.
Right.
You can't take a peek at his magazine and go, okay, he's good.
You got to just go for broke.
Yep.
So Billy's office is nothing but spreadsheets after spreadsheets.
Wow.
He's hiring all these players sight unseen, which this ruffles some feathers because for 75 years, baseball's been recruited a certain way. This is
Yeah.
not how you do things. And so now Billy Beane, with this super small budget, is turning this whole process on its head. So he's getting made fun of by other coaches, by players.
Easily.
ESPN does a regular reoccurring segment
What?
on him.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
Well, he's already like the poor guy, or like
Exactly.
the team is always already like they're not going to make it.
Yeah, so they're easily targeting him. By now, he's using math to build
Right.
to build a baseball
He's
team.
dumb.
What's math ever done?
Right.
Send you to space.
Right,
Never.
exactly. So spring training for the Oakland Athletics rolls around, and the team is full of out of shape guys, old guys,
Boom, baby.
guys who were
I want
supposed
to
to
see
be
that team photo.
Yeah, they're supposed to be retired.
Oh, jeez.
They have injured players from the minor leagues
Oh, wow.
Wow.
showing up because they've been hired.
Oh,
And so basically, it's a squad of rejects. And in the baseball community, Billy Beane's being ridiculed nonstop. And the big question on everybody's mind was, would it work?
can they get on base?
Right.
Well, yeah, would this equation actually work?
Okay.
And so under the leadership of Billy Beane, using a math equation as his main recruitment tool, the Oakland Athletics become the most cost-effective team in Major League Baseball history.
Jeez.
They reached the playoffs 4 straight years in a row.
What?
Wow.
And in 2002, they become the first Major League Baseball team ever in over 100 years to win 20 consecutive games.
Whoa.
That's big time.
Okay.
That's
They're
impressive.
athletic, bro. They're so
They are
athletic.
so athletic.
So they look ugly doing it,
but they're
Amen.
athletic.
but they're selling the game.
Right.
And so basically, Billy goes from being the laughing stock
Yep.
of Major League Baseball to one of the most valued people in the entire sport.
Wow.
So, can we
There it is.
can we see that equation for a second?
Yeah, just
I-
a glance.
That
'cause-
math equation, yeah. Can we get a glance at?
Does it apply to podcasts?
For real.
So that same year that the team found their success, the Boston Red Sox offer Billy $12.5 million to
Wow.
leave Oakland
Yeah.
and recruit for them.
He's like,
He
make
could buy
it 2.
six teams with that.
I know.
Make it 2 million. We got a deal.
Exactly. So Billy, this is an actual quote from Billy Beane.
Okay.
Billy said, taking $125,000 to skip college and play baseball was the last decision I'll ever make solely on money.
Whoa.
So he was just like basically
Nice.
like, I'm staying in Oakland.
Oh, he
I
turned it
don't want your
down.
money.
Turned it down.
He
Oh my
turns it
gosh.
down. And Billy is still in Oakland,
What?
where he is now the executive vice president and part owner of the team.
Wow.
He's done well for
Invested?
himself.
Jeez.
He's done well partially because in 2009, Hollywood approached Billy with the idea to turn his story into a movie called Moneyball.
With James Corbin?
Not James Corbin.
Okay.
Billy was played by none other than Brad Pitt.
Wow.
Oh, Bradford Pitt.
Isn't that funny?
Bradford Pitt.
What's the funny guy? He's in that movie
Jack
too.
Black.
No.
I don't know, but basically
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill's also in that movie, yeah.
Right.
But a
Jack
Florida man basically turns a major league sport.
This was
on
a
its
Florida
head.
guy? I didn't remember that part.
Yeah,
We're a Florida show.
I know. I was just so,
Wrapped up.
I was in it.
yeah.
I was traveling
That's
the
what I'm
country
saying
with
is
him.
like basically this Florida kid has this roller coaster
He
life,
changed baseball.
roller coaster career, and literally changed the way the sport is played.
Wow.
I mean, he
That's
changed the
crazy.
recruitment process.
Florida's killing it.
Florida is crushing it on the
man.
national
Man,
stage.
you like baseball? You're welcome.
You're
Bro,
welcome.
come on. We don't do sports episodes often, mainly because
They're
the three of
dumb.
us don't know a lot about sports.
Well, speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself, Wayne.
Josh, I want you to give me 3 facts about
Okay.
baseball.
Oh man, the ball.
Okay.
It's not solid rubber.
Okay.
The bat
Okay.
is solid wood.
Okay.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be. It can be replaced with steel,
Wrong.
but if everybody's there, then they'll hear it.
Yeah.
They'll go, ding. And the refs are actually missionaries from Guatemala.
true. Josh, who was in the World Series this year?
Tampa Tony
Yep.
and the Buffalo Buckaroos.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
That was it.
Go on, Tampa Tony.
Baseball expert Joshua.
Is
from
it
Florida
only
Man
one
Florida
guy
Man.
on the baseball team?
Bro,
Tampa
it's-
Tony?
It's 1v1.
He's all over the place.
It's 1v1. So basically, here's what happens, guys. When you are done with this episode,
Yes.
we'd love for you to go to wherever you're listening to it and subscribe.
Right.
Yeah.
helps us
or go
out so
somewhere
much.
else and leave a review and subscribe there also. Why not?
Or go somewhere else
Yeah.
and subscribe and leave a review there
Oh, yeah.
because it helps out our show. Patreon.com/FMOFM podcast is where you can find all the bonus material, bonus episodes, boom. Bonus
Movie
show notes,
reviews.
movie reviews.
Boom.
Josh puts on their PG-13 pictures.
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes
it's
he
a
does.
flash sale
Right.
for the calendar.
Amen. Guys, we love you so much.
Man, it's
so
been a good
much.
time here.
Thank you for hanging out with us talking about baseball.
I wouldn't have came if I knew that.